Hello guys, welcome to an episode of The Terror Zone. Today, we'll be looking into one man. This man is named Hercules. I'll be talking about him in this video. Looking through his real story of his tragic moments, his tragic life, and his tragic love and family, all together in one, and his tragic labors as well. As we go through the story together, we will see the actual Greek tale of the story, told by none other than the Muses, with stories. As you can see, I am wearing my Coraline costume, with my Coraline buttons, and my Coraline rain jacket, and my little skeleton charm. If you want one of these of your own, get them at the Jesse V merchandise store. They have them on there for your convenience, but please get them soon as you can because they're going to get sold out very soon. You can also get a ghost in a bottle to go along with it and your necklace. But please get them soon because they're selling out fast. Go to the Jesse V shop now to get yours very soon. Anyway, back to Hercules. First up, his name in the story is pronounced Hercules, as opposed to Hercules. But I'll be using Hercules instead, just to not make you confused. Zeus was the father of Hercules, but he liked to chase a lot of women. So, unfortunately, Zeus had a lot of scandalous women that were taken advantage of, and well, Zeus kind of was taking children with those. So, as you see throughout the story, this kind of thing will happen in the story as well. One of them was a innocent person who was raped by Zeus. Her husband returned from the war and she was pregnant with Hercules, but the husband got her pregnant again with another son, which you have to remember that will be important later. Anyway, unlike the Disney version, Hera is the villain of the story. Since Hera is Zeus's wife, and since she has found out that Zeus has been raping other women, she is not happy about it. As about this new child called Hercules. Hera was angry about all of this and tried to kill Hercules for revenge. So she sent 50 poisonous snakes in his crib, but Hercules managed to fight them off with his strength. And instead of Hercules with will and just classes instead of his magical strength. Later on, as Hercules grew, instead of going to fill activities, he ended up going to a regular school along with other Greece games. Like, for instance, he did music class and he ended up killing his teacher by accident. With his enormously strength with other instruments. Just classes in school. To get stronger, kind of. like the Hercules series, but despite all that, Hercules was ostracized for his strength. Surprisingly, when Hercules accidentally killed his teacher with an instrument by accident in class, he went to the mountains, be visited by two figures. When he walks to the mountains, was virtue and another kind of spirit as well. They gave him two choices in his life to choose a kind of life he wanted. He either chose a fast and easy life or a strong and glory life. He chose the second one. And after this, he saw people getting attacked by thieves. So he thought this was unfair, so he gathered a whole bunch of other thief monsters and fought them back off and restored order to the king. The king was so happy about this that he paid Hercules back by marrying his daughter Megara. A few years later, they had a couple of kids, and Hera can't stand Hercules having the good life, so she decides to shake things up. So she cursed Hercules to kill his children. In a fit of rage, and then in some versions, Meg, when he broke out of it, he was ashamed about what he did and had done, and left Philoctetes. He got to seek guidance from Oracle of Deaths, who in watch of Hercules, and that they work for Hera. Doesn't come from Hera, so they tell Hercules that he should be a slave to the king for 10 years. So next few thrones of Zeus was supposed. So the next heir to the throne was supposed to be for Zeus was supposed to be Hercules, but Hera stopped that by making his mother stop giving birth to Hercules. Instead of it goes to Hercules. His mother was stopped by crossing her legs in a very painful way. This is what starts the 21 labors of Hercules. So, in case you weren't following, what happened is that Hercules got cursed to be a slave for the king for 10 years. This was what starts the labors of Hercules, as he is working as a slave instead of being king like he should be. Instead, that role goes to Hercules, as he becomes the king, and Hercules ends up being a lonely slave that nobody knows about. They don't know he's Hercules. Instead, they make him a slave, and that Hercules was never born. Yeesh. So Hercules, to pay for his sins, he had to do some labors for the king. This included 1. Slaying the lion. 2. Slaying an onset of birds. 3. Steal apples from the ancient tree, like in the movie, for instance, where that woman turns into a tree with apples. 5. Clean a onset of stables. Some of these labors if Hercules made a mistake, he would have to do more. 6. Slay the Hydra. Those are just the highlights of what he did. Most of these are highlighted in the Disney version. A few references here and there. These include the boar, the Cyclops, the three-headed dog, and more. Once Hercules was ready, he went back on track and became a Orgon, which is I hope I'm saying that right, which is a band of heroes to help save the day. His friend Jason sent him off onto it to find a magical necklace on one of his journeys. But once again, Hera couldn't stand Hercules being so happy, so she made him kill his friend by throwing him over a bridge at a fist of range again. Hercules, once again, horrified by what he did, he went to the Orgo once again, and they told him once again to be a slave to someone. This time it was the Queen, who ended up doing very harsh labors for him, like wearing ladies' clothing, and she ended up wearing his clothes instead. Also, he had to do some sewing with other women as well. They ended up getting married, but once Hercules got away, their marriage ended. This starts where the end of the movie takes off, where the Titans were trapped in their cage when Hades sets them free. This is foretold that only a mortal can stop them, which is Hercules. He set them free. This foretold that only a mortal can stop them, which is Hercules, of course. Hera didn't want that. She wanted someone else for Hercules, but she had no choice. For Zeus already chosen Hercules, and a choice he was able to beat them and put the gods. He was granted from the gods of them. Hercules fell in love with Deirdre. She was forced to marry someone else. Hercules, I hope I'm saying that right. So Hercules challenges him to a duel battle to win her hand in marriage. And he won. The couple lived happily ever after. Hercules extremely except Hercules accidentally killed the ring bearer with his strength, but his in-laws forgave him. But Hercules still left in shame, so they packed their stuff and left in vain from going through a river to get across. The centaur from the movie offers to help him across, but Hercules wasn't too sure about him. While she was helping his wife to cross, he suddenly tries to force himself onto Hercules' new love. Hercules was so furious about this that he ended up pulling a bow and arrow in front of his chest. And on his dying breath, he plot his revenge. He said that Hercules is not a faithful man, so he collects blood and popped it into his chest, putting him strokes to Hera's blood in there without desires. So basically, he said that Hercules was not a faithful man. So he decides to put a little bit of blood of faithfulness inside of him to make him more faithful. But what Hercules' new wife did not know was that without warning, the centaur sneakily put in something into the potion, making Hercules feeling more pain and more suffer, making him slowly die in pain. Well, not really. I mean, he's still alive, but in pain, he still feels this in his body. Anyway, burn inside. Years later, Hercules put himself in an army to stop the king for picking out of his doll on the 12 labors. The king also tried, if he won, they would torment when he basically didn't end on his deal of the bargain. So they had to fight each other. His end of the bargain, there were 3 ends of how this play out, but all the ends the same way. So I'll just do the most popular one of all. Hercules won the war and took all the belongings he needed from the king. Marriage, where it was going to be one of the king's daughters again. Now, about the other wife before. I don't know what happened to her. I guess she died in vain since she burned Hercules? Other than that, I can't really see what happened to her, but she has passed away, so Hercules would not be cheating on her anyway. But anyway, Hercules ends up marrying Lily. And, well, they were going to have a party later. And Hercules decides to wear a nice shirt. And Lily was like, what do you need a shirt for? Who are you trying to impress? So she sneaks in a little bit of a potion into the shirt. And as the Hercules puts on the shirt, it burns within his body with the potion he already had inside of him. And it burns and burns until he dies. But this is not sure of a sad story, because at the end, Hercules is renowned as a god and goes on to live with the gods in Mount Olympus. And that is the end of the tale of Hercules. What do you guys think? Do you think it was as dark as you thought it was? Or do you think it's way more adult than you thought? Tell me in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye! And we'll see you back on the Terror Zone as we look into more unfortunate people. By the way, guys, if you want the buttons I'm wearing, go to Jessie V's store. They have all these buttons on here. You can get a mystery one. You don't know which color you're going to get. So, I'm advertising it. You can find a link in the description down below if you want one. Although, be wary, they get sold out immediately. So if they're not there, don't be too surprised. I'll see you next time. Bye!